Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Silent Calls Tarot. I'm Nini, and I'm gonna do an energy read for the collective. It's not for any specific sign, but it's for whoever is guided to these messages. All of my information for contacting me is available in the description box below. It'll be the link to my website as well as my email address so you can have direct contact with me. So let Spirit guide you with these messages, and yeah, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. So I took a break from social media, to just focus on my own self and, maintain my energy and just implement a lot of self-love that I was giving out. A lot of love that I was giving out, I implemented it into myself and, those that I love, and just a lot of self-care and nurturing. So I've had a few dreams and I've been getting a lot of messages about different things. So I wrote a lot of it down and I'm going to pull from this Yu-Gi-Oh! Because my son has some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that he got. But when I looked at them, I was like, yeah, I'm going to use them. So we're going to pull from there and see what Spirit wants to show us. And then, yeah. So I wrote the Journey to the Secret Treasure. Now, I had this dream and it was like we were being held captive in a house, and it was like we were in a kitchen, and it was like we were in a kitchen and we were doing different things in the kitchen, and it was a cash register in the kitchen, but it was like I took money from the cash register, like a little more than what I was supposed to take from the cash register, but it was like I was going to use the money to help me to escape. Now, my first attempt to escape or leave, it was like they ran after us and brought us back inside. So it was like there was a woman with a red dot on her forehead, and when I saw the red dot that was on her forehead, they kept saying pineal gland, but they were showing me pretty much that the pineal gland is the passageway to the secret treasure. It's like a hidden door. So they had me to write about the last attempt to get out of the house, and it was like I got out of the house and I was headed to a gold or like a brown beige Suburban. It was like we got into the Suburban, but there was a lady that had to go with me. The lady with the red dot, the pineal gland, the consciousness that had to go with me. And I woke up after getting the money and going out of the door to get into the truck. Now, they had me to write multi-dimensional beings, perspective shift, frequency check, length, width, height, dimensions overlapping to exist on higher frequencies and patterns. They had me to write, how do you see the world? Mathematics, geometry, ability to know, see based upon actions, viewpoint with decision making. And then they had me to go into studying the 11 dimensions. Now, they had me to write coding genetics. We'll go into it later because they were showing me the dimensions as them being inside of us. So they had me to write from 0 to the first dimension. It's like a flat surface, like how you see flat earth or just a line. And they had me to write length and width. And you could be seeing from a perspective of only seeing how long something is or how wide something is, but not the depths of what it is, but a perspective of how you view things here, a dimension in which you see things on. They had me to write the third dimension, and they had me to write about the physical. Okay, now with the third dimension being physical, you see like how you see me. You see the length, width, the height, and that's it. You don't see the inside or the in-depth, the things that make up what I am, but you see like how much space I can take up. Okay, with the fourth dimension, I wrote ability to change past decisions, to end a pattern, and to start anew. Now, with this, they were showing me this as a level of, you know how they say when you're able to reach a higher dimension, you're able to communicate on a higher level, you're able to see on a higher level, but it's more so you go with your insight rather than the outside viewpoint or the outside scene. You're able to go in to see outside. They had me to write space, not physical, and you use your senses. That's what I wrote, senses, and it's connected with your pineal gland. So that goes back to that treasure, that secret treasure that I was finding. They had me to write the fifth dimension. Now, in the fifth dimension, you're able to control time in different ways, past and future, but you're only able to remain in the present. And they had me to write teleportation, advanced skills, remembrance, parallel universe, existence, manifestation, time travel. They had me to write ability to see a better life, but make decisions in the present. Like how, okay, for instance, how with where I am now in life, I saw myself before this time in which I'm living in. I saw myself in that present time, but I knew how to maneuver. I had to make decisions in that present moment to get me to where I want to be in life now. It's like a sense of foresight here. Okay, they had me to write the sixth dimension. They had me to write jumper through time, parallel universes, past, present, future, but you don't really have to go into the past to change things, but it's like it flows simultaneously and you're able to meet yourself. Now with this in the fifth dimension, I know this is more so like with me, it's more so like when you're in your dream state or your sleep state and you're able to go back to certain events, you're able to see things that are going on in the now, like a dream that I had one time where I was able to see like a conversation that was being had about me or about a situation, but it was like I was there in that present moment, but it wasn't, maybe it was going on at that time, but I wasn't physically there. And when I wrote about the sixth dimension, it took me back to that Jumper movie. There's a movie called Jumper. I think it's called Jumper, but they were able to teleport themselves. But they were able to teleport themselves throughout time. I would say throughout time, but it was like they were able to do everything in that present moment, go into the past, present, or future at one time. Okay, they have me to write the seventh dimension, and it's where you have unlimited powers. There are star seeds, or what people are considered as star seeds, aliens, and they're able to move freely in any universe. Like when you tap into your abilities of, I don't even know how to explain what they are, but your abilities of being able to, I would say, travel from any dimension, see in many different dimensions, but you're able to stay in your present moment. It's like there's no limit. Why did it say that? Infinite powers, no limitations here. They have me to write the eighth dimension and virtual. They have me to write virtual and no physical form. Now, when I was looking into this, they were showing me more so like how when people say they see ghosts or whatever, it has no physical form, but they're able to do whatever they want to do, without causing harm. Well, some do, but they're able to do whatever they want to do, but it's not in a physical form. They're only in like you can't really, I would say you have to be on a certain frequency to actually see it. So they have to write the ninth dimension. They have to write shapeshifters, UFOs, time jumpers, infinite powers. They have to write the 10th dimension, and they're infinitely powerful. They're on the God frequency, and they are limitless. They have to write the 11th dimension, and this is when you're able to connect with higher dimensions, and it shows your genetic makeup. You're able to do more in-depth research of your genetic makeup, and you're able to look deeper into what you are fully made of, your genetics. It teaches you how to, well, they were pretty much showing me how the genetics are like codes, and with you learning the codes and how to perceive the codes that are made up in your genetics, it shows how you can function in life, the different abilities that you have, the different things that you can acquire or accomplish in life, but it's based upon what is genetically made up of you, or what you are genetically made up of. So they had me to write connections with the 11th dimension. They had me to go into the Nikola Tesla. Now, I had been doing research on it, and I talked about it in a previous reading, but about the 369 theory and how it correlates or is associated with everything in life and the world, the universe, how it is symbolical, how it is important. Now, they had me to write the secret of the universe, and they had me to write different things about the numbers and the 369 and how it repeats itself and how it's always seen and how it's a controlling number, how it controls things. Now, they had me to write about the Lucy movie. Now, in the Lucy movie, when she had taken that stuff, or they gave her that stuff, she was able to study within herself to see why the world was the way that it was, why people functioned the way that they did, why they ate the way that they did, and why they were limited because of certain things that they ate, certain things that they did, certain words that they spoke out. But seeing how you can be genetically made, coded one way, but you could be going against your own genetic makeup. That's what they were showing me. Okay, now they had me to write. Okay, they had me to write about teleportation and different stories. Well, different, yeah, they are stories, different things in history that showed that teleportation is possible and that it was real. So they had me to write, this is the sound, this may be the name of the reading. This is the sound of troubles crumbling. Now, I had went to visit like my family that's, you know, passed on, but I visited a gravesite or whatever. And as I was there, I was, you know, just meditating and, you know, just enjoying. But I was seeing how we celebrate life so much, but when death comes around, we're always in a weary state or like a grieving state, but there's a better side to seeing it, but more so a perspective in which you have to see the good in what may seem bad. So they had me to write Grim Reaper, I come for the souls, recognition, dark nights. Now when they had me write this, they had me to write about how when we get the viewpoint of what the Grim Reaper is, we see it as someone that brings death, but we don't see that it takes you to a different side of life. It takes you into a transitional type state, but it causes you to go through a rebirth, but there has to be a death for you to accumulate new or to get new things. But they were showing me it as like an ending of a cycle, or ending of a way of seeing here. That's like a death to your a dimension in which you functioned on, like you're vibrating higher or you're going to a higher level and you're getting a perspective of, it's like you're getting a perspective of why you were trapped in a certain dimension, why you saw things a certain way. They're showing me like a third dimensional, I wouldn't say a third dimensional being, but a being functioning on a 3D level. You're only able to see what's right in front of you. You're not able to look deeper here. You want to only see what is right in front of you. You don't care to know if, say you meet someone and you see their physical point or their physical body and blah, 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 but you're not looking deeper to see their traumas, the things that they're holding on to, the things that they hide, the things that you really need to know about this person, because those genetics, those codes get passed along when you create other children. Well, you create children or you know, do different things together. When you're functioning around, it causes your perspective to shift here. Now, they're showing me like how when you can be around certain people for so long, and even if you are not vibrating on the same frequency, that frequency kind of attaches to you, or you become attached to it, because there's like a certain level that you have to drop down to be able to relate. Okay, they had me to write, I am peaceful, I am free, I am joy, I am honest, I am free. Okay, those are all the notes that I have. So we're going to pull from these cards that I have, and we're going to see what Spirit wants to show us. Can you please show us what we need to see? And we do. Thank you for this opportunity. Can you please show us what we need to see? And we do. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay. Ooh. We have the Flint card, and it says it's the equipped monster. The equipped monsters loses 300 ATK, it's like a speed. They lose speed and cannot change its battle position or declare an attack. If this card is destroyed because the equipped monster is destroyed, target one monster on the field, equip this card to that monster. So like back to what I was saying about a death to a cycle, a death to a perspective here. They're showing me this as like a river here. Like if something gets in the way, like a dam or something that's built to stop the water from flowing, it creates a blockage, it's destroyed. This flow is destroyed here. But they're showing me it as, okay, they're taking me back inside. Now they're showing me as say if you have a limited mindset and you just don't want to see past what you've already been taught. So you take this as what you know. It's your go by thing. It's become a habit. It's become a lifestyle. So you don't want to see beyond what this lifestyle is, or this level of seeing, this viewpoint in which you have, this perspective that you have. You don't want to see beyond this because you feel like there's they're showing me like it's there's more that you have to do. They said more work that you have to do to be able to see on a higher level. But you get complacent here. That's what they're showing me, like a complacency in a certain level, in a certain way of viewing things here. But there's that blockage. That blockage is what keeps you there. It's like they're showing me like a mental block, but they're showing me it as like chakras, the chakras stacked up, but they're showing me like a rock that's in the place of you being able to go to a higher chakra level or a higher dimension, because they're different universes. It's blocking that. But there's that grim reaper or that dark night. When they tell you the dark night of the soul, or we talk about the dark night of the soul, how you have to go deep and see why you are being complacent, why certain things that you don't, why there are certain things that you don't want to do, why you are stuck in a certain mindset here. This is that grim reaper. There's a death to this blockage that you've been creating for yourself here. They're showing me like you're being transformed, or you're transitioning into a higher level of seeing, a higher level of being, a higher level of functioning. Now, I was looking at something last night, and they were talking about how Earth itself is changing its vibration, but going to a higher frequency. And to be able to function in this higher frequency, or this higher frequency, this higher atmosphere, you have to level up. You have to get yourself onto a higher level, or you won't be able to function. You won't be able to see on this higher level. You'll be stuck in a 3D dimension, a third dimensional viewpoint here. You'll only be able to see what's right in front of you. You can't see what is hidden, those secrets here. It's like they're showing how they're showing me like how you unblock chakras, or you unblock different dimensions within yourself to be able to contact. That's what they're saying, contact. But they're showing me like a connection cord here, like an auxiliary cord. That's what they're showing me, like an auxiliary cord. You connect it to be able to receive and also transmute. A transmitter, that's what they say. You're able to give out and receive. There's like a communication blockage here. You're having to unblock this. Okay, can you show us what else we need to see? And we do thank you for this opportunity. We have the ancient brain, and that's back to that pineal gland. I think this is the card that made me want to go and use these Yu-Gi-Oh cards that my baby had. Now, this one says a fallen fairy that is powerful in the dark. Now, and it looks like that brain and the little beetle that they always show, that golden beetle, but that beetle that takes you to that hidden knowledge, the different secrets, but it takes you to ancient knowledge. Now, that Grim Reaper, and how I got that message while I was at pretty much a meeting with my ancestors, and I was pretty much getting when I was there, I wanted to get a perspective. I wanted to get a different perspective. I wanted to receive like a higher perspective, rather than me seeking on I would say people that I can actually see. I wanted to get I would say insight from someone that is able to see higher than me, that is able to function on a higher level. They can see what I'm doing as well as what's going on around me, and like a position, showing me how to, they're showing me like a coach. Like I was going to my coach to get recalibrated on a play that I was going to make. That's what they're showing me, like a game. They're showing me like when you play football or something, and you go back to your coach, even if he's spoken out what the team is supposed to do, and you need to be, I don't know why this word won't come to me, but you need to recollect. You need to get you need a repeat of what was said to be able to fully take it in, to be able to fully function, to be able to fully understand it. It's like taking it in whole. They're showing me like you're eating from they say eating from source, but eating from a source that they're showing me that shows you the in-depths of things here, like a type of clarity. And even that red dot that I was seeing, that red that's on here. And now they're showing me like the Hierophant card in this, but like kind of like the High Priestess as well. How it, and even the what is that card? The Temperance card. How there's like an angel or an angelic being, a being that's there to guide here. That's what they're showing me here. So maybe you're being guided to activate this. It's like a process in which you're being guided to. It's like rid yourself of things that will keep you on a perspective in which you are limited here. You're becoming this limitless being, but it's like, I wouldn't say you're becoming, well, you could be becoming, but you already are this, but it's like it's that you're being taught how to activate your senses of being able to view things on higher levels here. It's like your eyes are being wiped clean here. They're showing me like they're taking the veil from your eyes here. Now, okay, I don't know what I did with that paper, but they brought me back to this dream. Now, I had this dream recently. It was about my mom, but it was like I was in this dream and she was giving me something. And in this dream, it's like she was giving me some passed on knowledge, but it was like an inheritance here. An inheritance of things that were to be passed along to other generations. But it was like it was a key to what I needed here. But that key, that's what they're showing me, this key from that's being passed along from these ancestors, these genetics, this coding that you are being able to, that you are being guided to unlock here. You're being, it's like you're getting they're showing me like you're moving this block. You're removing this rock that's blocking the water from flowing here. It's like how they say you break generational curses. You're getting help to do this here. They say it's your time. Now, they're taking me back to this thing that I wrote down on here. This is the sound of troubles. This is the sound of troubles crumbling. I come for the soul. It's like, okay, from what they're showing me like you have a guide here, but this is a guide for protection, and they protect your sight, your senses, your intuition, the things that actually make you who you are. It's like you're unlocking who you are, your identity. That's what they're showing me. They said your identity was stolen, but they're giving it back to you. You're realizing, or there's a recognition. And I wrote that on that paper too. Recognition, that clarity of who you truly are, what you are truly made of. You're a multi-dimensional being that can function on many different levels in many different realms, but you've been limited by what you were taught. But you're being guided out of these teachings. You're being guided. It's like you're being shown what was blocking you from functioning, what was blocking you from connecting, what was blocking you from your recognition of self and your abilities here. That power that you hold. They said manifestation power. You create your own world. They're showing me how, when I was looking at the Nikola Tesla his documentary, I think it was like a lot of stories, or it was a lot of stuff about how he started with creating different things and his electrical things, and how he was able to see that from ancient teachings they were able to use natural resources and different things to create electricity, but they were using mathematics here, and how everything is made up of a code, and how to use these codes. It's like how to see these codes, but as well identify which codes are used for different things here. Like, say you have a code within your body that teaches you how to, let me see, smell things from so far away. You can differentiate between different smells, but you have this code and you're not using it, so you can't really smell what's different. You can't smell hot sauce from honey. You can't tell the difference, but by you unlocking this sense, you're able to differentiate between it, but you can see what was blocking it here. And having the ability to remove the blockage that has been blocking this sense of being able to function on this dimension. It's like you were stuck here. There's something like you were stuck. Even back to that dream, like being held captive in a certain place, maybe in a certain surrounding here, but you had to, it's like you had to steal something to help you to get out. Like you use what was taught to you to get out of the incorrect information. It's like you were taught wrong. I wouldn't say wrong, but you were taught limited. There was a limitation to what you were taught. You were given certain things, but there were certain things that you did not know. So these things that you did not know were the thing. It was like it was the key. Ooh, I hope I didn't sleep on that. But it was like it's like it was the key to unlocking the next level here. It was the key to unlocking what you were being blocked from. So I'm going to leave this here. This is for the collective. I do thank you all for visiting my channel. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you feel led to do. Let Spirit guide you with these messages. My information for contacting me is available in the description box below. Bye.